Hey. I went high up this time round. Hey. I'm usually in my alto era.
Hey.
Today we're talking about girl code and what
Girl
it is.
code.
Because actually, funnily enough, I was listening to Madeline Argy's podcast.
Of course.
And I think she actually just talked about it. So me when I steal the idea.
Copycat.
But like
Magpieing.
Yes. Yes, magpie.
I used to love magpieing at school.
What does that mean? Just like stealing?
Oh my god, yeah, basically. Wait, did you not do this?
No, I've heard you say it before.
At primary school, they'd be like, it's okay if you're magpieing other people's ideas. Like, we would do this thing called big writing, which was like
big writing
every Friday, I think, and we put sweets in the middle of the table and a candle, and we'd all write a story.
That's kind of culty.
And it was called. And it,
that sounds like a cult.
Is that not normal?
It's a seance.
Wait, did no one else do that? Anyway, yeah, we'd all be sat on our tables.
What do you mean?
It's called big
crazy.
writing. We do big writing on Fridays. I think it was Fridays. Anyway, and we'd write stories, and then like someone would be like, you copycatted my, like, you're copying. And they'd be like, no, like everyone is allowed to magpie if you want to magpie ideas.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
But it just meant like you could copy someone and be like, I'm magpieing.
Me when I'm magpieing.
Maybe this was just in my primary school thing. That's like one of those moments just now where like I realised my childhood might not actually be that. Might have been that wasn't an everyone thing. That was just maybe me.
That's kind of niche.
Sorry, I completely
love
cut
that.
you off.
Anyway, no, you're so fine. That's so hilarious. But yeah, so I magpied the idea from her podcast. But basically, she talked a lot about girl code, and I thought, this is so fucking interesting. Let me do a deep dive search.
A deep dive side.
So, because I obviously like girl code is talked about often, like it's a thing, like even especially now on like social media, it's like a huge fucking thing, or like just like girl code as we know it. Like before I get into like the deep depths of it, it's like what would you think girl code is essentially? Like if I said that to
I
you.
would just say girl code would be like
no you can be like so like blunt.
I would just say girl code is like girl code is like don't fuck someone's boyfriend and like do the hey girly message if you need to. Like this has never happened to me, thank God. If I was on a night out and I kissed somebody and then I found out prior to that person had a girlfriend, I am messaging that girl to go, by the way, I had no idea and I'm so sorry, but this happened and your boyfriend said he was single. Yeah, that's girl code to me. Yeah,
like essentially like being
basically
respectful, but
basically
it's
having the backs of women, basically.
But like mostly, like it's mostly used these days for like to do with men.
Yeah, it's sort of to protect us all from getting hurt, essentially, and just keeping everyone in the loop and like. Yeah.
So let me get into the history, Mama.
Yeah, come on.
So essentially, historically, informal, like what girl code was it roots in women's social survival. So historically, informal loyalty norms amongst women developed because women were often socially and economically dependent on men. So like back in there, reputation, marriage prospects and social standing could determine a woman's safety and livelihood. So this is like where it came from. And so as a result, women created the unspoken rules of solidarity to protect one another from social harm.
Right.
So early versions of girl code were less about friendships and more about collective protection. For example, not publicly humiliating other women, avoiding gossip that could ruin her reputation, and supporting women who were vulnerable in male-dominated spaces.
Because imagine like I accidentally ran my mouth that I came in because you were like doing some manifesting in your bedroom. Yeah. And I told everyone. And then you're getting burned at the stake as a witch.
In it. Yeah.
Like I'm obviously just going to keep my mouth shut just in case. I'm not going to tell anyone.
But it's like, it's crazy. And like there's more on the history bit. But it's like, it's crazy that it was to protect each other from the like economic, political like sectors of like men in power. Yeah. Like essentially. And so here it says in the 1960s to 80s, with the rise of feminism and women's liberation movements, loyalty norms shifted from protect your reputation to support women as a group. During this era, girl code themes showed up in women sticking together in workplaces where they were outnumbered, Feminist ideas like sisterhood is powerful, and female friendships portrayed as politically meaningful, not just as social. So then that kind of leads on to like the 2000s girl code becomes, and this is where it shifted. So it shifted from being like historically like so important to protect one another.
Yeah.
It then shifted in the 2000s to becoming more pop culture.
Okay.
So the phrase girl code really took off in the 2000s, 2010 with reality TV, obviously, social media and movies and teen culture. Common rules became things like don't date your friend's ex, don't flirt with someone your friend likes, tell your friend if her partner is cheating, what you said, and back your friend in public, address issues in private. And funnily enough, there was an MTV show called Girl Code in 2013 which also popularized the term as a humorous, semi-serious handbook for women. So it's like definitely shifted in the 2000s for damn sure. And then there's two last bits here, so it's like critique 1 and then critique 2, so we can discuss. So critique 1, it said it centers too much about men, essentially. Like girl code now centers too much about men. That's what this one says. A major criticism today is that classic girl code often revolves around men and dating rather than women's growth goals or community. Example of what people now question is, why is your friend's claim on a man more important than your own feelings? Why should women limit themselves romantically for the sake of rules? And why do men rarely have boy code held at the same standard? To which then critique 2 says it can punish women unfairly. Traditional girl code sometimes puts more blame on women than on men. For example, shaming the other woman instead of holding cheating men accountable.
I think it's possible to do both, but continue.
Sorry, there's only like 2 more, so we can discuss. Expecting women to police each other's behaviour and valuing loyalty over honesty or personal boundaries. And the finishing line says, this has led some people to say the old version of girl code is outdated or patriarchal. Let's fucking discuss.
I think that it is possible to hold the quote-unquote other woman and the cheating man accountable. They're accountable in different ways, but I don't think... I also disagree with that having girl code is preventing women from romantically being with who they want to be with. If you want, like, sorry, I don't know, I just think I would never... For example, you were in love with your ex-boyfriend. If I fancy him a little bit, this is all hypothetical, by the way. If I was to like sexually be attracted to your ex-boyfriend, that holds nowhere near the emotional weight that you and him had together. Why am I going to disrupt our friendship for a sexual attraction when I can be sexually attracted to so many other people?
I agree.
And if it's more than a sexual attraction and there's more of an emotional connection between me and your ex-boyfriend, that means that at some point it went from sexual to more, which means that I've already overstepped that boundary to allow me to get that close to him to the point where we would begin a relationship. I think it's disrespectful. I don't think that that's preventing women from being whoever they want to be with. I just think that I just think that that's a boundary that as friendships you shouldn't cross that.
Well, I think also off of that, I think that's why the term girl code is like thrown out so much these days, because I absolutely completely agree with what you just said, because I feel like if a man did the same thing, like there's not so much thing on you've broken boy code, it's just a case of man or women, like doesn't matter what fucking gender you are, point blank. If you are gonna fuck your friends or like get with your friend, like your closest friend or any of your friends ex-partners, that's fucked up morally. Doesn't matter what the fuck your gender is, doesn't matter on whatever code, morally that's fucked up, that's disrespectful. And like I think the whole thing of like it's breaking girl code, you're just a fucking dweeb, you're a fucking moron with no moral values. Clock it, bitch. That's it. Fuck this girl code, boy code shit.
No, it's not about
don't be
code.
a fucking
that's just about
idiot.
Human beings.
And I think that's why it's so twisted with social media these days, because it's like, and I think that's kind of what it was implying, instead of it being like a no, it's fucked up when girls do it. It's like it doesn't matter. That's just like
also like having girl code as a definition or as an overarching theme is like, it's dated in the sense of like, it's just not needed. It's just, we shouldn't have to have a manual handbook on how to be a nice person. You should just know how to be a nice person, and if you don't, then you need to just sort yourself out. There shouldn't be like I'm a girly girl, like I'm a girly pop, so like I follow girl code, which are these rules, like 100%. And if you feel confined by those rules, you're just a shitty person. That's not rules. You don't actually have to follow any rules. It's not the Bible. You can do whatever you want, but if you choose to do that, am I going to think you're a horrible person? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So do you, because we're talking about like being the other woman, if you don't know that the man is in a relationship, so that's what I'm asking, because I think there is definitely a lot of pressure. Like, I see online people shaming the girl because the girl who's been in this other relationship, the other woman, because she's not done her research. To me, I think that puts a lot of pressure on the woman to like do her research before she sleeps with a man. I think not on the man to just not fuck someone who's not his partner. Well, this is the thing. I think it can be easy for people to put the focus onto the woman because, and like, not to like no tea, but like, I've been in this situation. And obviously you hold anger towards that woman. Because you're livid at the situation and you're angry at both of them. And so obviously you're going to hate that girl. Doesn't matter who she is. Doesn't matter if she knew or if she didn't know. Even if she didn't know, you're still going to hate her. But if that girl doesn't know, I think the anger that you feel about the situation is valid, and you're going to feel anger towards her. And it's about, like, as an adult and as somebody who's grown and mature, it's about going, I'm not gonna direct my anger at you. You didn't know. It's not your fault. Am I livid? Am I seeing red? Yes. But it's not about you. It's actually about him. Because that's what I'm like, is like girl code then not calling that woman a slut after you know, when you get that hey girly message from this woman who doesn't know? Because like, I see so many posts online of people like then like shaming this woman who had no idea, who's actually done the right thing.
I think that's just bad people.
I agree.
I don't think that's like what it's about at all. Like, I'd say like the girl code is the fact that she's coming to you doing the hey girly message. The right response is to go, thank you so much for telling me. I'm sorry you've been dragged into this. You know, like, I will now deal with this in my relationship. Thank you for telling me.
The girl code is more about like women being respectful to other women. That is the code. So like, when people's like break it, like, it doesn't matter the situation. It's like, if it would be different. So in that situation, the girl code would be the girl coming to the other girl going, I'm sorry, I didn't know. But in a different situation, if she did know, then the girl code, I guess, breaking the girl code would be, you knew that this was going to hurt me. I feel betrayed by another woman has betrayed another woman. It comes down to like, we've got to keep each other safe. Like, where it roots from, it's like betrayal from another woman is like harmful, because it's like, we can't, and that's where it dates from. This is all like, not me, but like historically, like, we had to protect each other. So it's like, to betray
the trust, almost.
Like another woman, I was gonna say like one of our but you know what I mean, like, and to betray your own community, it's like, well, who else the fuck do we have? And that's where it dated from. And so I guess now it's like slightly less, like, obviously women like in like the patriarchy and all that, like, we have a lot more I guess like power now. Definitely not as much like power as men do in this world, but I think it's less like
the networking of it gives us the control over the situations 100%. More.
It's like feminist movements.
It takes back a bit of control, because it's like, I'd like to think anyway that it would discourage men from doing that stuff. No, I mean, they should just not do it, but like, if that girl is aware that you have a partner, she's going to be less inclined to do it. And if she doesn't know and she finds out, she is going to tell your girlfriend. Like
100%.
That it's a protection thing. It's like a community standing together to go, where we've all got each other's backs.
100%.
Which is why then those girls that don't get shunned, because it's like, and those girls probably do get called horrible names, because But also, it's not about girl code or boy code or whatever the hell. It's just about being a decent human being.
100%. I also think, like, girl code as a thing, because even, like, right at the start when I said, like, for you, what is girl code? And, like, immediately, we all today, because of social media or whatever, we socialize it with, don't sleep with your girly pop friend's boyfriend. That's... everyone that you ask, that's where their head's gonna go. But I think girl code needs to almost, and I don't know, this easier said than done, but it needs to be more about the community of women, the feminist like movements, and like maybe not on like a massive like let's all fucking walk down the street and like start ranting and raving, but it's more about the community. That's what it is.
I think it should be less focused around relationships and men and romantic relationships, and more about, if I'm a woman in a position of power in a company and I have interviewees coming in, I'm not that it's, what's it called, there's equality but there's equity as well. And it's about like maybe giving the only woman in the room a little bit more time to talk, to hear her, because maybe she's actually fought harder to be in the room with all these men. And if you're in a position where you can give her the time of day a bit more, you give her that booster. It's more like that. It's like having each other's backs in that 100%. Position, because like, and I don't think this is like, I mean, I'm talking off the top of my head here, but like 90% of companies, I'd say if you go to the highest position in those companies, those rooms are going to be filled with men. So if there is one woman in there, you'd like to think that if then like she has the power to give another woman a step up, she would.
100%.
That's what it I think that sort of vibe should be more what it's focused around, rather
100%.
than like
trying to catch another girl out,
or like relationship related stuff. I think the relationship side of it should just be more, can we all just treat each other nicely?
That's more about morals, I think. As a human being, never mind.
I think it should be more about like coming together as a community and enabling everyone to sort of like essentially fight against the patriarchy. And this is like going a little bit off topic, but we were talking about this in the car on the way home, and like, as somebody who considers herself bisexual, right, it's like sometimes I feel like as a society and as human beings, we like to label things because that's how our brains work. Like, we like to measure things with measurements and measure things in time and measure things in all sorts of different metric systems. And so when there's a societal thing or a psychological thing that we can't measure, we go, okay, well, let's label it and put a box around it and go, if you're inside this box, then you have this label. And I feel it with like feminism. It's like, if I sit on the couch and I call myself a feminist, it's like, but do you know this, and do you know this, and have you done your research, and have you gone on a march, and have you done this, and have you done this, and have you done this? Well, if you haven't, then you can't really sit there and call yourself a feminist. And it's like, okay, so now I feel like I'm not enough of a feminist to be involved in this, but I definitely agree with what you're saying. But I don't feel like, now I feel like I'm being shunned from this group. And it's the same with the sexuality thing. It's like, if you're bisexual and you're with a woman, then you're more like, you must be bisexual. But then you're bisexual, but now you've got a boyfriend. Are you really bisexual though? Are you? Or was it just a phase? And then it's like, we were talking about this as well, it's like, if you're presenting, like, if you want to be seen as like accepted into a queer community, but you really don't present very queer at all, like you don't look like you fit into our community. Are you really in our community, or are you doing it for attention, or are you doing it for the male validation and the male gaze because you want to be perceived as like, you know, sexually deviant or whatever?
That was the question that I was going to ask. Is it really frustrating? Because presumably it happens all the time. As soon as you tell a man you're bisexual, they're like, oh my god, that's hot. Like, how fucked up is
but it's also like you would never be like, I mean, like, I would have sex with a man, right? Tick. If a man then says, I'm straight, I'm not like, wow, that's so hot. Like, what? It's so weird. It's so odd to me, and it's just so frustrating, because then it just...
But the problem is that I think a lot of men equate bisexual to threesome.
Yeah.
Which is mental, because like, being bisexual does not mean that you're non-monogamous.
Yeah.
What the fuck's that about?
Yeah.
I don't know. But this is why it's like, I get what you're saying about own the word and whatever, but it's so, I struggle with a lot of those sort of labels and stuff these days. Like, I'd rather almost be like nameless.
Yeah.
And I just want to live my life and love who I love, and why can I not just be in love with a person? Like, just because I was in love with a woman and then a man doesn't devalue when I was in love with a woman. Because if you remove the gender from the situation, which is how I feel, then I was in love with a person and now I'm in love with another person. And regardless of the gender of the third person that I might fall in love with, it doesn't actually change anything. And I don't understand why I have to have a label and why I have to be like, well, if you love anyone, then you're this, or you're this, or you're this. Well, no, because you don't dress like that, so you're not like. I find it so infuriating, and it's also hard because, and we were talking about this as well. Sorry, I've really rambled.
No.
But like, I also struggle with like, and it's the same with the feminism thing. As soon as you put yourself in that box, you are then to society categorized as backing everything that community backs. Like, sure. It's like you're not allowed, it feels like you're not allowed to, like, if I say I'm queer, I'm part of the queer community, I'm bisexual, I therefore then have to agree with everything that community agrees with. There might be things within that community that I don't really know how I feel about, and maybe I don't agree with, but maybe I feel certain different like angles to what that community thinks. But God forbid that community knew that I felt like that, I would get shunned from it immediately.
People are always going to be arseholes, and you know, it's from any marginalised community. You know, to align yourself with the community is not to align yourself with the arseholes in that community.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be arseholes, and realistically, like, those people shouldn't then be, you know, trans man steals paintbrush. It should be arsehole steals paintbrush.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck bitch. You guys are so good at articulating words. I'm like actually blown away. Like, listening to you guys talk, I'm like, wow, I need to really work harder these days.
But it's literally what you said. Like, it shouldn't be. We should make that the title. It shouldn't be trans man steals paintbrush. It should be arsehole steals paintbrush. It shouldn't matter. But that's the thing. It's like what I'm saying. It shouldn't matter the gender. I am dating a person. Oh no!
God forbid.
It's a different gender to the last person I dated. Oh my god.
Mate.
Okay. And
wop.
Like
wop.
Like,
yeah, mate.
It's nightmare, because and then it's also like maybe you'll have this if you ever like delve anywhere, but like family wise as well, and obviously like the older communities you go to, like values shift and opinions change, but like I know I definitely feel a pressure that if I never date another woman in the rest of my life, that my entire family is going to think it's a phase.
I see.
So it's almost like I know, like in the past when I was single, I was like almost like I need to find a woman, like, because if I don't find a woman, then like all these like funny little snarky comments from people, they're gonna think that they're right, they're gonna think that it was a phase, and they're gonna devalue what I had with that person and say that it was nothing and say that it was and whatever. If I end up marrying a man, they're gonna think that I'm not what I say I am, and it's like, why do I? Whereas if it's anyway, I could beat this horse over and over and over again.
Whatever.
Shut your mouth.
How long have we been beating this horse for?
How long have we been beating this horse? It's about half an hour.
If there's one thing I'll do, it's beat a damn horse. I love beating the horse.
I'm gonna beat that horse.
Yeah, I can't even remember where we began to get onto that. We had like a drunk conversation about it, and I just popped off in the car. Yeah, and Mia just sat there and listened. Poor girl.
No, but like,
I don't even know how long I spoke about
that. Uber driver had a fucking time of his life.
But it was because our friend said like that he very much views me as queer, and I was like, I've not heard anyone say that about me recently, and I thought it was really interesting. But it was because when he knew me best, I was like seeking a relationship with a woman. So, and I was like, wow, like you don't care that I'm dressed quote unquote straight presenting, which what the fuck is that also? But you don't care that I'm wearing lip gloss right now. It's not affecting the way that you view me.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question which might be potentially controversial?
Go on.
Do you feel safer in a relationship with a woman than you do in a relationship with a man?
Two different answers. I feel like physically, like let's say we went out, I would feel safer walking down the street with my boyfriend.
Sure.
Because I know he can physically protect me. Or like in a house, if there's a creak or something, like I feel physically safer. But also like maybe that just depends on like the size of your partner. Like if he was a very small man, then maybe I'd feel differently. But like at the moment, not like what I'm saying is that's not actually based on his gender. That's just because I'm like, I feel safe because I know he could physically protect me.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I'd feel safer with a man. Sometimes this is going to be a bit rogue. I don't know if you've ever had this, and maybe I'm just like psycho. Sometimes I sit there and I'm like, oh my god, like you could just kill me right now if you wanted to.
Oh yeah, I've had that before.
Like not you have the strength. Yeah. If you wanted to just kill me right now, you could. Not that I've ever felt that. No, ever. I'm just saying, like physically, sometimes I'm like, oh damn, like. Yeah. I don't know, sometimes it's so weird. Anyway, that thought crosses my mind sometimes, but like I'd say the biggest difference I'd say is literally just emotional intelligence and compatibility with woman to woman. It's just slightly easier. I think we as women sort of are all on the same wavelength emotionally. So it's easier for me to articulate how I feel and for a woman to immediately go, yeah, I see what you're saying. Whereas with a man, I feel like I almost have to explain it differently or approach it differently because I think you guys just tick in a different way.
Yeah, well, I think...
So it's a little bit... It's not more difficult, it's just different.
Do you find yourself as a kid, like, when did you realise that you were bisexual? Like, was it when you were having conversations on the playground with the boys and the boys were going, oh my god, she's pretty, and you're like, yeah?
No, so I didn't... This is so funny. I didn't literally clock. So, yeah, I didn't clock that I was into girls too until I literally ended up kissing one. Like, no, wait, that's even a lie because I kissed my girlfriends when I was in primary school. I didn't realise that I was bisexual until I ended up basically in a relationship with a woman.
Interesting.
And that's when I was like, oh. And then, once that had clocked in my brain, I then looked back at all of the stuff from my childhood and went, oh, I fancied her. But there was a girl when I was in my teen years who I would get... It was so sweet now looking back at it. We would hang out before this club and... Oh god, I don't know if we'll see if I want to post this, but we would hang out before this club started and I would genuinely be so excited to see her every week. I'd be so excited to see her, and we were like fairly tactile as friends. We never kissed or anything like that. Never was romantic at all or sexual at all. But when I look back at it now, I thought she was gorgeous. I thought she was pretty, and when I was younger I used to think it was because I wanted to look like her. But I didn't want to look like her.
Yeah.
We look so different. I don't want to look like her. I just remember thinking she was like God sent and she was gorgeous. But because also of the world I'd grown up in and the way that my parents had been and the way that the school that I went to, it wasn't even a thought that crossed my mind that I could be attracted to her.
Sure.
So I just assumed that I just thought she was absolutely gorgeous and stunning and sexy and wow, and she's so hot and I want to be her / do I kiss? I want to kiss you. What? Like, but I never considered. I never took the thought to that point because it wasn't even. It wasn't even like a thing to even consider. Whereas obviously, if I felt those things towards a boy because of the society I was brought up in as a child, I would go, oh, I fancy him. But I didn't make the link because it wasn't even an option in my brain.
So interesting.
I do think it's interesting. I don't know what my dad may or may not have like deciphered from me as a child, but when I told my dad that I had a girlfriend, he was like, I was like, were you surprised or anything? And he was just like, honestly, like I'm not going to sit here and be like I didn't see the signs. Sure. And I don't even know what signs he's talking about, and he won't tell me.
But I think parents will always
kind of
get
know
an inkling, right? At least good parents.
Yeah, so I honestly didn't know until I was literally like, how old was I when I got into that relationship? 19? Like, I was 19 and I was kissing a woman, and then we ended up doing things, and I was like, oh, I'm not straight, I guess. Because I guess if I was straight, I wouldn't be doing this. Yeah. And then I was like, yeah, and that was pretty much it. But I didn't have this big revelation. I didn't have a big revelation. It just sort of happened, and then I was like, oh,
here we are.
I guess this is me.
Yeah.
So anyway, should we wrap her? Sorry, I feel like I've just spoke at you for this whole
honestly,
episode.
it's like I'm like, I need to fucking clock the shit in with my articulation and like just how I speak. Like, no wonder I can never form damn words these days, sentences.
No, you just speak in your own language. I like it.
What, just saying tea mama?
Yeah.
That's all I've said the past 3 episodes, bro.
Tea
mama.
You speak in sort of the same way that Germans do. Like you combine. You know how Germans combine 3 words
they do.
into the same word. It's basically I love it.
I
cool.
speak via metaphors.
Yeah.
That don't make sense.
I like when you do that, or phrases that are wrong.
Yeah.
Gonna drain that cat.
Drain
or whatever you said.
Please.
My favourite one that I've ever had was I was helping one of my friends with a job application, and she in the interview said, instead of I don't want to pigeonhole myself, I'm not going to pigeon my hole. Which I just thought was fantastic.
Mate,
that's funny.
Even I pigeon my hole.
That is something you would say. I don't want to pigeon my hole.
Fuck. Fuck's sake.
Right, should we wrap her on that note?
I'm tired now.
Yeah.
Hungover
crashing
hitting.
out, boy. All right then.
All right. I was gonna say love you. Bye. That's crazy.
I've done that before. Love you.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.